I thought I would try out a slightly different angle this time, which is literally just turned from the usual. So, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Brittany, and today's video I'm super excited to film. This really is not an original idea, but I just recently decided that I want to do this because I want to share my tips and tricks that I do to look like and dress like you have a lot of money when in fact you do not. Me, that is literally exactly what I do. I do not have money, and when I say, okay, listen, I am definitely very grateful and fortunate that I am in the position that I am, because I know a lot of people don't even have the money that I do, but I definitely don't have enough to be shopping at Gucci and Louis Vuitton and those kind of stores, Versace, okay? Sorry, that is just not the kind of budget that I can literally live on. So I want to help you guys, just like I have helped myself, with all these tips on how to dress like you got the money to shop there, but in fact you do not. So let's just not even wait, let's get into it. I've been very into lists lately, so you guessed it, I have a list for this video. Okay, I've got everything laid out next to me, so now we can officially start. So none of this is in any particular order, so please feel free to stick all the way to the end to hear all of the tips, because all of them together really is what makes you look super put together, at least in my opinion, is what I think. So I think the first thing that helps you look a little bit more like put together, and honestly when I'm saying put together is along the lines of, you know, having the money, because people who have money can afford to be put together, is what I'm trying to get at, just so you guys understand. So I think the first thing is to wear more form-fitting clothes, just because things that are more shaped to your body, I feel personally, tend to mean like you have it together, just because when things are loose and baggy, specifically sweatpants, of course there are like designer sweatpants, but obviously we're not buying the designer sweatpants, so it's more important to focus on like form-fitting things, like a really good hugging pair of jeans, a nice tight shirt, things like that, things that are like giving you shape to your body, like it's just such a clean look and has you put together. I think especially, even, you don't even have to go crazy, so especially for form-fitting, it's just a plain white t-shirt. I literally got this one at Primark. You can get this at Forever 21, literally any store, Walmart, they have this. I only paid, I'm just gonna have prices on the screen so you guys can see, so I don't have to keep saying it every time, which will be easier for me. So I did get this shirt, and just having a plain shirt with a nice classic pair of blue jeans, like, it is a simple look, but it's a look that's very in right now, and like it's looks that I've seen Kendall Jenner wearing, so I would highly recommend wearing that. And then I think the important thing that goes along with that is to tuck in your shirts. So leaving your shirt untucked can feel like the simple everyday kind of look of how everyone goes, but I feel like once you have that tucked into your pants, everyone's like, oh, okay, now she knows how to dress. I will never not tuck, unless it's a crop top, of course, but I always tuck in my sweaters, into my jeans, my shirts, into my pants, literally everything. I am tucking it in. I've just always done it, and I have found that it gives a nice presentable look. The more presentable you look, the more money you look like you have, because when you got money, you got time. I feel like I'm gonna be reiterating myself a lot, but you understand. Again, to go on, all of these are gonna fit together, as you are going to learn quickly, but I think an important thing is to wear belts, and sometimes you don't need belts, especially if the pants are already form-fitting and fit nicely, but when you have that shirt tucked in, I think the nice added element that you can have is putting a belt on with it. So I have a few examples, and honestly, the bigger the belt statement is, I feel that the more of an money look, like the bigger the belt, the more money that it cost. So that's the example that I'm giving. This one is from New Look. I think this one was only like 10 pounds, but just the big circles, like it looks like it costs so much more because the circles are really in right now. This one also, this is like an oval shape. Most of mine tend to be gold is where it goes, and a simple black belt is really a nice statement as well, because it gives you like a middle section to your body, so to speak, and it really looks good together. And even like a lot of times you just have to browse stores. I got this belt literally just recently, like I still have the tags and everything on it, but it has these little bumblebee looking things, and from a distance people I feel like are gonna think that it's like Gucci, I'm pretty sure is the one. that does the bumblebees. I can't remember. It might be Louis Vuitton. But from a distance, they're not going to know. And a nice simple little pop of color will be cute as well. I think it just will go along really well with your put together looks. Okay, so I think a big thing that people tend to struggle with is shoes. So we're going to get into that. And a lot of times people with money tend to wear heels a lot, and as girls, listen, I am with you. I do not like to wear heels, so let those are no. And we also cannot even afford those Louis Vuittons that everyone wears with the red bottoms. Cardi B, unfortunately, we cannot be like her. But booties are a huge thing that can make you look put together and still give you the comfort that you need. So the great thing about booties is that they still have the whole protection of your foot. So even in like colder climates, you are being protected. And then the heel is very shallow, so it's not as much pressure on your foot. And they tend to be more cost efficient than any other shoes. Really, I got these ones for Primark, and they really snap, and they're super cute and comfy. I would say the most comfortable booties that I've ever bought in my entire life are Target booties. Something about them, first of all, these ones are just clean black and they have a point, which is really nice. But these ones, literally, I do not even feel like I am wearing a heel at all. That's how comfortable they really are. So I would totally recommend these. And they're literally from Target, but because they're black, you have no idea. So they're super clean, and you could have bought these from a super expensive store, but really you didn't even pay that much and you're feeling comfortable. But I get it. Personally, booties aren't for everyone. So you still want to look like you have money, but you want to be in your comfortable sneakers. But they're sneakers, and you can't afford those expensive ones. Or I don't even know expensive sneakers. But we're just going to go. Okay, I'm getting a little off track here. What I'm trying to say is white shoes. White shoes will make you look put together, and they need to be clean white shoes. So I have examples of my shoes. I have my everyday shoes that I wear literally every day, and then I have shoes that I definitely take care of way better. So this is my everyday. She wears them, she goes around. You definitely know she has been on the town. Now this is my clean white shoe. If you have the super clean white shoe, then it looks like you never wear it, which means it looks like you have tons of pairs of shoes that you can just keep clean, because the cleaner it is, the less it looks like you wear it, and you have them and it looks like you. Do you get what I'm saying? The vicious cycle of like, the cleaner the shoe, you had the money to buy the shoe, whereas the dirty one, you've had it forever and it's dingy. So as you can see, like the wear and tear on this means like I've been wearing this shoe for a while. It's not like I had money recently to buy these. I feel like I said it just 3 different ways. So basically my recommendation is, because sometimes you're like, well then I'll buy the white shoe and it'll get dirty. And I hear you there. And definitely you can get cheap white pairs of shoes at Walmart. So my recommendation would just be to get a nice cheap all white shoe. Definitely is the key point, I would say. It's becoming honestly less about seeing the brand and just seeing that you are so put together and you look like you have money. So if this white shoe has no logos or anything on it, you're not gonna have any issues and they're gonna look good. And then if something happens to them and you scuff them, or if they've really gotten to the point of being so dirty, then you can just go and buy another pair again, because they literally were that cheap. I would totally recommend Forever 21, Walmart, or Primark. Primark is not everywhere in the US, but there are a lot of stores. So just a little suggestions for you guys. Okay, so moving on to jewelry a bit, I think when it comes to earrings, a real way to look like you have a good amount of money is thick gold hoops. For some reason, I think the thicker the hoop, the more money it looks like it costs, because the thin hoops, you look like you can get those literally anywhere. Walmart sells a massive pack for literally $4. But when you have these thick ones, a lot of designer brands and a lot of more high-end stores, like even Urban Outfitters, have earrings identical to these, and they just add like a nice clean look, especially if you have your hair all pulled back in like a low bun or something like that. These really like stand off, which I think is great. Like if there's one earring you should have wearing in your ear, I think it should be thick gold hoops. When it comes to other jewelry, I think layering necklaces is a really good idea, obviously in good taste and if you have the right ones. I would just even recommend skipping sometimes necklaces, because the chains can get dirty and stuff, like the fake gold. So just be mindful of those, what you're doing there. And then another thing I would highly recommend, which can easily make it look like you have a lot of money. I'm putting them on right now, and if you're wondering, what is she putting on? It is, dun dun dun, I'm trying to figure out the order I want to do. Rings. Something about having your rings on your fingers, especially multiples, look like you've got a lot of money because you had the time to go and buy rings. And literally you don't need expensive ones. All of my rings are from the Melrose Trading Post, and I think it was like 2 for $5. So it doesn't cost a lot to get rings, and you can end up finding ones that you really like. I love my rings, I just never remember to put them on. And so rings are just a nice little added detail that I think is cute, and then when people see it, they're like, oh wow, she's put together, she's got money, she had the money to splurge on jewelry. Because, you know, you can be all put together, but when they see you've got the jewelry as well, like, that's even extra, I think anyway. So this is just a simple tip that when you are buying clothes, to just focus on neutrals. I'll have an image of like the most important neutrals. Obviously black and white are the most important, and there's a few like lower colored, not like bright colors, but like they're more muted tone version of it. And I think it's just important to stick to these colors because when you tend to hit into the neon range, you tend to look more kiddie and like it costs less. I feel like it's easier to find cheaper items when they're brighter, bolder colors. Not to say that you can't do color. I mean, I am obsessed with yellow and pink. So again, it's all your taste and style, but it tends to look more cleaner, more put together, and like you have more money because of these muted colors. Like if you're walking into Louis Vuitton and Gucci, you're finding that dark green, that dark red, the muted browns. Like you're not finding these bright, crazy colors, if you get my drift. So another thing is, as a girl, you tend to have a purse, something that you carry a lot with you. And when choosing the right purse, again, you do not need an expensive purse. I have gotten the cheapest purses from Plato's Closet, thrift stores, TJ Maxx. You just need to look in the right places. But I think the most important thing is to get a structured bag. When it has that structuredness to it, it looks like it costs more money. And when the bag is kind of just like flimsy in there, it's kind of like, oh, that's really cheap and she just like bought that somewhere. So definitely structured over other bags to look like you're put together. I mean, there's even, I personally am a tiny bag girl fan, so this one is super tiny and perfect, and like it looks like it could be Gucci, and it's perfect to just fit your phone and your wallet. And this was so dang cheap, and it's such a beautiful, again, muted color. So that's just like what you should focus on, I think. And so the last tip I'm going to be sharing with you guys is when it comes to sunglasses, focus on smaller but ones that work for your face. So I picked these ones out the other day, and they're just small pointed ones. Now these ones I think you can only wear low on your face because I look like that meme. So just make sure you're buying the right ones for your face and wearing them how you should be wearing them. I would not recommend these for ones that you need to wear like this. Definitely for photos, this is a great option, this one. But just be like, think a little smaller, because the ones that tend to be bigger and rounder really are kind of like out of style and not really in as much as they used to be. So just be cautious. So that was a lot of tips that I kind of went through a little quickly just because my battery is dying. I'm sorry about that. But I hope that all these tips put together will make you look like you have got all the money in the world to go shopping. I mean, that's what I do. I act like I have all this money to dress super bougie, but in fact, I can't go to Louis Vuitton, I can't go to Versace, it's just not happening for me. So I hope you guys now can dress like you've got money. I hope these tips were helpful. If you guys liked this video, if you liked watching me, then you should press that subscribe button down below. It would mean so much, and I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye!